Heya Cryptozens, welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter. My name is Nikodemus and we do crypto news analysis nightly at 10 p.m. And keep in mind, none of this should be considered financial advice. And we've swung back around to a Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. And I'm gonna apologize a little bit in advance tonight. After recording last night's show, I took a COVID test. Well, all of that studying paid off because my test came out positive, meaning I got COVID. So if the show isn't quite up to its usual, I apologize ahead of time. Now, we opened up the show last night talking about Turkey and Syria, and someone tweeted to me earlier. They live there. That's their home. They said, quote, "My country experienced the biggest earthquake in Turkey's history. It affected 10 cities, and in some cities, more than half the apartments collapsed. We urgently need mountaineers and search and rescue teams. I request you to convey this message to more people." So, 7.8 on the Richter scale. That classifies it as a major earthquake. Infrastructure is demolished on both sides of the border. They're talking about 7,000 people killed, 20,000 injured. And the world is responding. Across the web, people are gathering relief funds meant for both local and international aid. So, there are two major aid groups working in Turkey. AFAD Turkey is the government agency for aid, and then there's the NGO ABAP. This NGO is led by Haluk Levent. Now, Levent is interesting because he put out the address of several crypto wallets, ERC20, Avalanche. I'll list them all in the show notes. He said that the aid accounts would be up for a week and that he would be providing receipts so you could see exactly where the money went. And he's not alone. Refek Anadol is a Turkish artist and art director. He posted an Ethereum wallet to take donations. He said his intent is to split the proceeds between AFAD and ABAP. And all of that is great for individuals. Companies, too, are taking part. Some Web3 companies have offered crypto, fiat, and even physical assistance. Gate.io and crypto derivatives trader BitGet announced donations of 1 million Turkish liras each. Bitfinex, Heat, Synonym, and Tether each pledged 5 million liras. Tether said, quote, "It is clear that the scale of this disaster has been both widespread and catastrophic. Our hearts go out to the people of Turkey and our thoughts and prayers with all those affected." BitMEX has promised to donate the proceeds of this week's trading challenge to the Red Crescent. BitC is a local Turkish exchange. Their aid transcended the digital into the physical. They sent an actual aid truck to the earthquake zone. And they said all commission income would be donated to ABAP. Now, BTC Turkey sent 6 million liras to ABAP and Akut. They also sent 1.2 million worth of clothing directly to the earthquake zone. The Turkish branch of Bybit and OKZ have also committed to donating relief. Sebastian Bourget is the co-founder and chief operating officer of the Sandbox. He said, quote, "Our thoughts are with the Turkish people today. Together with the Sandbox creator community in Turkey, we are in touch with relevant non-governmental organizations to create a relief fund and support earthquake-affected areas." And, like others, Sandbox Turkey filled up a truck with supplies. They sent it off to deliver that relief, and now they're looking for other ways to help in the long term. Binance's CEO, CZ, said, "Time to take care of our users," and said they would be airdropping $100 in BNB to users in the region. Now, as always, be careful. What's the first rule? Do your own research. Because you know the scammers are out there looking to take advantage of the situation. Check before you donate. And I still don't have any information about any form of crypto-related aid for Syria. If you hear something, let me know and I'll help get it out there. Ishan Wahi has pled guilty to wire fraud charges. Now, if the name doesn't sound familiar, he's the Coinbase product manager who, along with his brother and a friend, decided to front-run token listings on Coinbase. The Justice Department indicted the trio back in July in connection to an insider trading scheme. So what happened is, Wahi would find out what coins were going to be listed on Coinbase soon. Then he would tell his brother and their buddy. And then they would sell the tokens once they were listed. Reportedly, they only made about $1 million doing this. And I say only because his guilty pleas on 2 charges of conspiracy to commit wire fraud could land him 40 years in prison. Now, that's possible, but not likely. He was cooperative, so that's probably going to help his situation out. His brother pled guilty last September to the same charge. Damian Williams is the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. His name comes up on this show quite a bit. He said, quote, Wahi is the first insider to admit guilt in an insider trading case involving the cryptocurrency markets. Whether it occurs in the equity markets or in the crypto markets, stealing confidential business information for your own personal profit or the profit of others is a serious federal crime. It just goes to show. Crime is crime, whether crypto's involved or not. Speaking of crime, much has been made recently of Sam Bankman-Fried's messaging history. Now, what there is you can find of it, because he prefers the apps that self-delete messages. And that's caused some folks concern. Like when he tried to get a hold of FTX counsel Ryan Miller. Now, some would say he was just being friendly with others, people who are rational and people who are sane. They would say that Sam was tampering with a witness, influencing, prosecutors alleged, on January 15th. Not only that, but Sam contacted John J. Ray III to talk about accessing company funds. At this point, they were talking about taking away Sam's messaging privileges as part of his bail conditions. On February 1st, a ruling came down. This ruling said that Sam can't contact present or future employees of FTX, quote, except in the presence of counsel. His lawyers and the prosecution were fighting back and forth. Now, according to court documents, both sides reached an agreement. This agreement said that Sam, quote, shall not use any encrypted or ephemeral call or messaging application, including but not limited to Signal. On the other hand, Sam would still be free to use things like FaceTime, Zoom, Facebook Messenger. WhatsApp is a special case. They said he could use it, but only if they put on special monitoring on his phone that would automatically log and store any communications from WhatsApp. Well, Judge Kaplan wasn't having it. He denied the motion without prejudice, but didn't give a reason. In the filing, the judge forbid the use of the apps, FaceTime, Zoom, Facebook Messenger. He did say that the matter would be up for oral arguments on February 9th. In the meantime, Mr. Williams, the same prosecutor from the Wahi case, by the way, he petitioned the court to delay the civil proceedings, quote, until the conclusion of the parallel criminal case. In his filing, he said the criminal case was likely to have an impact on civil cases. He said, quote, all of the facts at issue in the civil cases are also at issue in the criminal case. It's his view that virtually all of the same documents, the same witnesses, and any other evidence that could be used by the SEC and the CFTC to prove their cases, those things could also be used to prove the government's criminal case. As far as staying the discovery goes, Williams claims that Sam could, quote, improperly obtain impeachment material regarding the government's witnesses, circumvent the criminal discovery rules, improperly tailor his defense in the criminal case, all of which sounds very bad, but could also have contributed to the judge's decision not to lift the ban on Sam's usage of messaging apps. Lawyers for SBF did not object to staying the cases. Caroline Ellison and Gary Wang have already settled with the SEC and have agreed to staying their CFTC cases. In the meantime, Sam is appealing the judge's decision to release the identity of Sam's guarantors. These are the two anonymous people who signed on Sam's $250 million bail bond. Last week, Judge Kaplan sided with a number of news organizations seeking the release of the names of those two individuals. These companies, including the Wall Street Journal and Bloomberg, said, quote, the public's interest in this matter cannot be overstated. Well, that's on hold. Since an appeal has been filed, that stays things until at least Valentine's Day. Meanwhile, the SEC is taking aim at U.S. broker-dealers. They issued their annual exam priorities, and crypto was one of them. So what's going on is, examiners from the SEC will be spending more time scrutinizing the work of U.S. broker-dealers and investment advisors. Basically, any SEC-registered investment firms that offer crypto or offer advice about crypto. Examiners will be there to ensure those companies, quote, followed their respective standards of care when making recommendations, referrals, or providing investment advice. Chair Gensler said these priorities are needed to protect investors, quote, in a time of growing markets, evolving technologies, and new forms of risk. Now, this is very different from last year. Last year, it was a quick note on crypto that focused on custody arrangements. The SEC also issued an investor alert. They're saying people should be wary about including them in their individual retirement accounts. Now, these are self-directed IRAs, and sometimes people will include crypto in these portfolios. The SEC has not wavered from their position. They said that those crypto investments, quote, may be securities that are offered without SEC registration or a valid exemption from registration and may not be accompanied by complete or accurate information to aid investors in making informed decisions. So, England is working on a digital pound, and apparently the Bank of England is not okay with the idea of calling it Britcoin. Bank of England Deputy Governor John Cunliffe isn't too thrilled with it. He said, quote, "The digital pound can be confused in people's minds with crypto assets such as Bitcoin. I should take this opportunity to correct this misapprehension. Indeed, nothing could be further from the truth." And this is just a lot of banker stuff, because Cunliffe said that the majority of cryptocurrencies were highly speculative and have no intrinsic value. Now, he did concede that while some of the tech behind the digital pound can come from cryptocurrency, he said that the bank is considering a range of options. Up for consideration is whether the bank will use a distributed ledger. Cunliffe said that decentralized record keeping is, quote, "important to ensure it is properly considered." The Bank of England and the UK's Finance Ministry opened a consultation on Tuesday. This consultation invited the public to share its opinions on a digital pound. As a result of that consultation, UK banks brought up the concern about runs on the bank. As an answer to that concern, they're planning on capping how much of the digital pound you can hold at one time. They're considering a limit of 10 to 20,000 digital pounds. Cunliffe said that the caps were needed to keep cash outflows within projections. When asked, he said that UK citizens should be able to get paid and to collect their pension in a digital pound. Cunliffe said, quote, "The proposals set out today are designed to ensure that the UK is well placed to take advantage of the benefits that these changes can offer, while ensuring that we preserve the safety and uniformity of money in the UK." And that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I will stop talking. If you enjoyed tonight's show, please like, follow, subscribe, leave a message or a review. In the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow night.